So in order for this new generation to win and the new generations coming up, they had to break it. We had to break the way order and structure and control took place. And so this new system is basically rigged for all of them to lose. All these kids that have been born, it's rigged for them to lose if they do it the old way. So we keep going, but that's not the way, that's not the way. And why I've been asking all of you to open your minds and tell you, look, this is something I want you to all open your brains to, which is it's time to really understand that we are on a new earth. Why am I saying that? Because the new kids in this new generation are basically saying, look, we don't want to do it that way. We want to show you how it's done. And here's how transforming separation, those generations of separation, divorce, not having time together, not having anyone to lean on, not having family members to lean on, and not being in a family. We have the time of daycare when you're putting your kids with strangers, that kind of stuff. It's not negative. It's just what had to happen. So that this generation said, no, let's break this transformation of separation and darkness and reset the planet into a new paradigm. We don't know it's happening because we're not prepping ourselves like what's coming, unless you're like an astrologer and you can look at this stuff, right? So back up quick. So for approximately the last 40 years, the look at me generations, the Leo, the Virgo, the Libra generations, they were all about, look at me, see how I'm doing. Am I doing better? They were trying to overcome and achieve because they didn't want to be locked down, but they didn't know how to do that. And so they broke themselves down as opposed to building themselves up. So then along came the Scorpio generation and blasted them all to pieces, not following the rules and saying they're ridiculing, control, all of that. And so anyone who knows a Scorpio, by the way, you will know that they are not keen on following rules. So point being is that this whole generation is your breakout generation. And this is your millennials. So they get a bad rap. I personally love millennials, but they get a bad rap on many levels. And I want you to all understand they are your breakout generation. Scorpio was in Pluto was in the sign of Scorpio, its own sign. Pluto and Scorpio rule sex, death, regeneration, finance. It rules psychology. It rules all the depths of passion, but it also rules opening ourselves up to see what we couldn't see before, which is pretty cool, right? So it's something to think about. So I kind of laid that on you quickly, but I wanted you to understand is generations are really just us seeing the universe give us different energy at different times, breaking down an old energy and starting a new energy. It's that simple. I just showed you what's actually happening in the sky. So when Pluto moves into a new constellation, which is about to happen in 4 years, which is why you're all being prepped, and I prepped you all to move into the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of humanitarian, communal, support, and its technology. So when it moves there, it's going to break all the ways we used to talk, and it's going to set us up completely like this at a higher level. Now, something to think about, the 80s and 90s are the only generations of programs that were on high def, intense TV and social media, okay? And that high def TV and social media was, the best way I can say this is we got we were easily programmed, right? Because we sat there and it was the go to work and we turned ourselves into this 9 to 5 group. And so what happened is this Pluto energy really got us in trouble, okay? Not in a negative way, but we got programmed to be seen. We wanted to watch and we wanted to see. We wanted to fall into media and TV and all this. And so we've lost ourselves in what it was teaching us instead of the other groups. And I posted even on social media today, these younger groups from Scorpio on, they could care less about TV and social media. My kids have been polling all their friends like, yeah, we don't want any of that. That's why they're not really getting too caught up in all this stuff. It's really the Xers and above, from Libra and above. Those are the people all discombobulated by all this energy. The younger ones are like, whatever, you guys are crazy. So I think it's pretty cool, right? You also see a huge amount of narcissistic tendencies in Libra and above. Why? Because it was all about them. And now I want you to say, Okay, but we have to open up to these groups that have broken this pattern, broken the mold, and said, look, we don't need to be seen no matter what consequences. Because as I was saying, this Libra group that was the most divorced, why did they keep getting married? That's a question I have for all of you. I know it was their lesson, but have you noticed they kept getting married? Like, you shouldn't get married again. Unless it's truly important to you and valuable and a huge healthy relationship, don't do it again 3 times, some of them 4 and 5 times. Like, what were they thinking? So it was learning this lesson. Okay. And so these younger generations aren't in fighting to be seen. And that's that parent fighting that they saw for a long time happening. They see and seek, they're seeking to be happy, guys. And they've created platforms for this. And we're like so caught on proving that we're right and that we need to be seen and that we did it right. We want it our way and we want control, that we're missing the fact that these generations, if you hook on to some of their mindsets and their beliefs and what they've taught us, you guys are going to blow your minds. They're way beyond our power. And we're holding on to these minuscule little topics that are really ridiculous.